welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today. The trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on and previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, James J., alongside Carlito Yachts.
Here's a fun breaking news that you wouldn't have thought of. There's a new IWGP heavyweight champion. And it's 50-50 himself.
You know, and it's just a sad situation that that's literally not on our news bracket tonight, but like I did not even know that happened. But
give the breaking news. Give the breaking. See, look at me. I'm breaking. See, look at me. Breaking. 50-50 finally got over.
And we'll get into that in a couple minutes. It was a good week for Wrestling With as we interviewed Johnny McMetal on Tuesday and Dylan Broda on Wednesday. Two incredible, unique interviews from Slam Pro Wrestling in Finland. Definitely go check out those interviews and check out Slam Pro Wrestling as well. Starbuck, the promoter, friend of the show, you could check his interview out as well. So definitely a lot of love when it comes to Slam Pro Wrestling. This upcoming Tuesday we have Jake Lupa. On the opposite end of Slam Wrestling there is FCF, Fight Club Finland. And Jake is the current Fight Club Finland champion. We talk about that. We talk about his tag team partner. We talk about his the Iron Man match he had to wrestle to win that championship. Being in a band, breaking his leg during a match, and a hell of a lot more. Definitely go check that out on Tuesday. And then this Wednesday we have Raimi, also from Fight Club Finland. Half Japanese, half Finnish. We talk about winning the Sisu 8 tournament. We talk about her match against Jessica Love. We talk anime. A big anime fan. We talk about possibly wrestling in Japan one day. So a lot to go in that interview as well. But don't take my word for it. Here's some clips now.
Initially breaking my leg, I went to the Rumble match and there I broke it all the way through. And because I'm still a dumbass, I finished my spot in the match with one leg, and I didn't know it was broken at the time, so I also walked 3 or 4 flights of stairs up and down, then a kilometer to my car. Slept on it, and the next morning I'm realizing, okay, this is more serious. I gotta get to the emergency room. But I was still soaking, or I was smelling really bad from the night before, so I had to get a shower before I would go to the emergency room. And when I get to the emergency room, they do the initial evaluation of what kind of care am I gonna need, and they do the initial one before the x-rays and stuff, and okay, it's gonna be a long wait, and then you have to get quite far along the hallway, so here's a wheelchair, and at first I'm like, I don't need a wheelchair, I can walk, and then the nurse is like, yeah, you should really get the wheelchair.
I guess the style of how they animate and visualize are so, so brilliant to see it. And I also love to watch the 90s anime movies, for example, Akira, Perfect Blue, and yeah, a lot of good movies they have in 90s.
I actually recently watched Perfect Blue for the first time. It was really good.
It is really good. Like it's very uncomfortable to watch, but it's really good.
I mean, that's what a good thriller movie should make you feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, and then on the 28th, which is a Monday, yep, the end of the month again, Lord Philip Rising. On the 29th, we have Pixel. The 30th, Anarchid Ass. On November 4th, we have Thomas Ramsey. And on the 5th, Sumika. Alright, I believe we are done putting ourselves over for the moment. So let's get into it. It was a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the news. You mentioned it at the top. 50-50 Zack winning the IWGP Championship at King of Pro Wrestling. I'm happy for him.
Question mark?
No, I am generally happy for him. I mean, Naito kind of got the belt back in a lackluster fashion. And what do I keep thinking, Jake? Zack. Zack was actually pretty smart. Cashing in your Wrestle Kingdom title match for a King of Pro Wrestling title match, because they were not giving him a title at Wrestle Kingdom.
Which means he might lose it at Wrestle Kingdom. The first thing I thought when he won it, the first thing I thought was like, this just screams Tanahashi beating it.
Oh, wow.
Because who's going to beat him for it?
I mean, literally, it could be anybody, considering that he's, like you say, 50-50. You know, he has a win on some people, he has a loss from some people. But, you know, it's not really a matter of getting the W at Wrestle Kingdom, because clearly he knows that that's not obtainable at this point. It's a matter of...
It's not attainable for any Gaijin that's going for that title. Any other title, sure, but that one, ask Kenny Omega. And he was literally one of the people, and he still could get that bitch. So
right.
If
you're not Kenny Omega, I don't know what to tell you.
Shit.
But clearly, you know, Zack knew that. So, you know, what he wanted was to walk into his home country of England as IWGP champion, which he'll do. And he'll walk into Wrestle Kingdom as IWGP champion. Something only two other Gaijins could say they've done. So, you know, it might be a short reign. You know, we're coming up on, 2 months. But, hey, he's going to be living his best life in those 2 months, no?
Oh, he's going to be, boy. See, the only thing that kills me with this is he can't do the win some, lose some that he's been doing so much. He can't do the lose and get back because everything's going to be for the title. Because he's already going with, by this time it posts, Sonata would have already had fought him. God help us. And then after that, Takagi gets him November. So it ain't like he's got this like easy streak. It's a murder in a row. I mean, considering that they're former champions.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I don't see Takagi getting a W on him. I just see it being a strong match for Zack to look good. But I mean, look at the sad state that New Japan is in right now. Like, I didn't even know King of Pro Wrestling happened, let alone that Zack won the title at the event.
God.
So, I mean, what does New Japan really have to do right now for people to talk about them? Because it does seem like it's not a lot.
Well, to be quite honest, New Japan didn't become super global in that sense until like the Bucks and Omega, until Bullet Club came,
Right.
right? And at the time, it just kind of was like its own little bubble. And sometimes sometimes it's better that way. Like their stories haven't been. It's not like the stories are bad. It's not like the stories are. Everything makes sense there. It all makes sense there. It's just they don't have that transient star.
Doesn't it need, a mega star to get people talking?
I mean, Naito is the country hero. I mean, maybe Zack Saber Jr. I mean, the only reason Zack Saber Jr. is going to get it because it's kind of a big deal for a Gaijin to win it. So I can see ESPN covering it, Sports Illustrated, the usuals, the same way that they did with Will Ospreay. But is it going to gain that much speed? Is it going to gain that much notoriety the way Kenny Omega? No one's going to capture it the way Kenny Omega did.
Oh,
because Kenny Omega was that one of one who was the toe line between knowing the culture and how to push that culture into the mainstream.
No, you're absolutely right.
And that's the biggest issue because don't get me wrong, Zack Saber Jr. Don't get me wrong, he's cool, but he's more of a Brit. He's more of a Brit culture. And the Brit culture is not going to translate into American culture the way Kenny was, because Kenny was from Canada. However, he had that special blend in him where he could just he loved the anime. He was able to take the anime, speak the language, and then translate it to the American people and talk his shit. And everybody's like, "Oh my God, this guy is the guy." Right. And that's hard for a Gaijin. It's hard. It's hard for them over there. Not saying that they're not capable. It's just you have to ingratiate yourself to a level that some may not be comfortable with. And maybe it's the way that they're booked too, because a lot of the times they're booked more like, either super heel, which is like they're just gaijins and we don't like them, or they're super babyface and it seems like they're too friendly, right? Because Juice was like the last face when he was there that was like super likable that could probably done that, but then when he went to the Bullet Club, it was like, oh shit, there's that.
Right. And it seems like if you're a gaijin, all roads lead to Bullet Club.
I mean, that's Finley.
Yeah. And Juice.
And Juice. And Kenny. And AJ.
I mean, literally everybody that's in Bullet Club right now.
And Finn. And Tonga. And
Kenta.
Kenta. But Kenta was there. Kenta, they didn't like his answer job. So
Kenta's fucking Japanese, and he's a gaijin in Japan.
No shit. Like,
yeah.
like how? Like, we hate you, but I'm one of you. We don't care. Like,
it's like the Star Wars meme. We grant you the rank of you're allowed to sit at this council, but we do not allow you rank of master.
Exactly. I mean, hell, Naito had to go and fucking reintroduce himself before, you know what I mean? So
right.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough to get it, but when you get it, you got it.
I do think that we're going to get to a boom period at some point. Not necessarily right now, but, Soda is starting to show up.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, what is his name? not Yoda Uemura.
Tomorrow.
He's, he's doing things. But, it kind of has to all start with a big bang, in a sense. And I think that big bang is... Now, just hear me out. Yoda turns on Naito and kicks him out of Los Ingobernables. And Los Ingobernables become a heel faction again.
I don't see that shit happening at all. Nah. Because Takahashi ain't gonna let that shit rock. Anyway. So, I mean, it's a push. I mean, it's gonna be somebody who is the hero. The question is, who the hell is gonna be the hero?
Well, like
in that heavyweight group, because
I feel like
could it be evil?
I feel Yoda Tsuji has that star power, if I'm being completely honest. He's young, he's brass, he has that mount on him like Naito has.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just, I feel like it's just a matter of time before, they push him. And they have pushed him, just they haven't pulled the trigger on him.
I mean, Tsuji, Umino, Sonata's clock is ticking.
Oh, yeah.
Like a motherfucker. His clock is fucking ticking. I'm trying to think of who else. I mean, Great O'Con, Evil had a shot.
I feel like I know Great O'Con hasn't been there all that long, but I kind of already feel like it's over for him.
Mm-hmm.
Which is sad to think, but yeah.
I mean, I think Takahashi could.
I mean, he needs to get out of the junior division if...
Yeah, he's done everything in the junior division. I don't know why the fuck he's just still there. Honestly, I think he's just there because he's like the one constant.
I mean,
he's
Dookie is the current IWGP Cruiserweight champion.
That tells me everything I need to know.
Yeah, it's time to bounce.
It's time to bounce, but he's gonna get one. But then again, Bushi's still there, so Bushi, because I mean, the last time Takahashi went up was when he fought Evil, and I don't know why he just didn't stay up.
I agree.
It's time for him to roll. For damn sure he needs to roll. The problem is that I think he's waiting on Naito, because to me, I think the natural progression is Naito steps to the side, Takahashi becomes the leader, unless Takage got something to do. Now, Takage turning, that would be something.
I don't think Takage is going to turn. I don't think he wants to be the leader of Los Ingobernables. And, Naito has always said, if you want it, take it from me. I don't feel like that Takahashi Hiromu, I love Hiromu, but he's not going to take it from Naito. He loves Naito too much. Yoda Tsuji, he's mentioned before, he's only a part of Los Ingobernables because it benefits him. So if anybody is going to take Naito out to the barn, it's going to be him. Kaliko, you're muted.
Well, the question is, would everyone follow him if he does it? At this point, I'm calling it bold take. Toru Yano beats Zack Saber Jr. Wrestle Kingdom. It's a wrap at this point. You better off just...
it would not surprise me.
Toru Yano finally gets the belt that eluded him for 30 years.
That would not surprise me, but Toru Yano just I don't know when he came out with it, but he has a bar now in Japan.
I mean, them He finally put that DVD money to use.
We know what he was doing with it.
You know what I'm saying? Stacking up capital. That's what the Oh shit. But congrats to 50-50.
Definitely.
He's finally 100. The question is how long he gonna be 100 until he goes back to 50-50.
Well, NXT is going 2300. We have an election coming up for anybody that's living under a rock, which is a Tuesday, in 2 weeks, I believe. 3 weeks.
2 weeks. Yep, 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks. So, once you know it, NXT comes on Tuesdays. So, they will be moving to Wednesday on November 6th. And it will be the first ever NXT show from the 2300 arena, the old ECW arena. Obviously, it will be going up against Dynamite as well. I think it's pretty cool that NXT is going to the 2300 arena. What are your thoughts on it?
If you didn't think Paul Heyman and Triple H was going to go there, you goddamn right they were going to go there. They have to. I mean, if they're going to go there, and it's going to be a touring show, and they picked the right time to help us with this indigestion known as an election. So, I mean, yeah, good fodder to get us away from it for a while. But, yeah, I think 2300 will be dope, and it'll be dope for the younger talent, the ones that know it, you know what I'm saying? So Stephanie McCoy being there. Think about that. Stephanie McCoy and Julia in ECW Arena.
Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and they'll be coming right off of their, I want to say what the Halloween show is going to be.
The Halloween Havoc, yeah.
Halloween Havoc is out. It'll be after Halloween Havoc, so it's the Fallout. So it blended in perfectly, that's for sure.
Yeah. And I just like the fact that, NXT, they're kind of realizing that maybe it's not in their best interest to be in, 15 to 18,000 seat arenas. So they're going with arenas they know they could definitely get a good amount of people in. A couple of thousand here, a couple thousand there. Which is smart on their part. And when, if it seems like they're getting more of a buzz and more people are wanting to see them, then yeah, obviously they'll upgrade to, a bigger arena. But kind of, know your role for the moment. Clearly something that AEW doesn't know.
I wouldn't put it that bad. I think it would be the opposite. Hear me out. Excuse me. NXT always, at its best, it always was at a small arena, cult like you had to be there when it happened type of thing. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't bother me to see them go back to that, because that's when it was, to me, at its best, when it felt like you had to be there to see it, right?
Right.
And it doesn't put pressure on these guys who are developing to try to push themselves to be the main guy, or try to be the main guy for a developmental roster, if that makes sense.
No, I get what you're saying.
It allows stories it allows them to be able to tell the story that they're telling without feeling like they have to be uber grandioso, and you let the people kind of pluck it from here and there. Because keep in mind, prime example, Sami Zayn was the most over in NXT and he had a sample size of what? Like Full Sail? That was like what, 15 to 2,000?
Something. I
if that much.
I'd say 1,000 on a good day.
Right.
I
and
mean,
then think about Johnny Gargano. Same thing.
Look at it this way: the performance center that they're in right now currently holds around 500 people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm being generous with 500. I'm kind of rounding up rather than down.
Yeah.
I think yeah, you're right. There was, you had to be there. But, they were, when they did actually get into bigger arenas, they did do quite well. I mean, the Brooklyn shows, the one show in Los Angeles they did. It's just kind of hitting the right story with the right person that will create buzz for them, that gets them to that point. I understand, there are a bit of a, get everybody talking type scenario. You have to be there. But, they do have to, I'm assuming WWE wants them to what's the word? Appeal to all demographics, so they can get to the status of a SmackDown or a Raw. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean that's true, and what I think is that this is them doing it with in-house talent. Like the last group of people that were like that transcendent were people that already had names. I mean, even with right now, the women's division, Julia, Stephanie McCourt, but I can go back, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Aleister Black, who else? I mean, right now, Ethan Page, Joe Hendry, you see what I'm saying? So these people are people that already had that buzz or are already known.
Right.
And them being on the stage elevated them. And they're trying to do it with people who are more in-house.
Yeah.
And they want it more organic, right?
Right. No.
It's like cooking a cake from scratch by buying the cake mix at home and just inserting X to make it.
Well, speaking of cake mix, Carlito of the Judgment Day.
I thought you were talking about Julia. Damn it. Or Stephanie McCourt.
What?
When you said cakes, I was thinking Stephanie McCourt, but that's a whole.
Let's get to Carlito. He's currently it's rumor. If you believe rumor and innuendo, they want to take Carlito out of the Judgment Day. They're feeling like things are bloated, that he doesn't necessarily fit, and with the bringing in Raquel, it just seems like too much at this point, and he's not necessarily in a prominent role where he currently is with the Bullet Club, with Judgment Day. If there is any if there is any grounds for these rumors, what are your thoughts about that?
I mean, if that's the case, when Raquel came in, they're already about to start this love story with them. So you might as well go ahead and just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the problem is that you're kicking someone out after they didn't already kicked out two people, if that makes sense.
Right.
So you kind of, the addition that they made was slight in the sense that now they got two chicks on there. So it's not like they're going to add them and then all of a sudden get rid of Carlito.
Right. I kind of feel like there's not really a weight to it. I feel if they take Carlito out, it's just going to break up the Judgment Day as a whole. Would I like to see Carlito in a more prominent role? Would I like to see him getting a push? Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
But what's his prominent? He's in a prominent role. It's just not the role that people think he should be in.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, he's in the Judgment Day angle, which is one of the bigger roles in WWE right now on Raw.
No, when I say prominent role, the role in Judgment Day, he's more like that. Because now with Finn is now the de facto leader. I'm not going to say he's the leader, but he's like the head above everybody.
Right.
So then you got him, McDonough, Dom and Liv are on the same plane, and then Carlito. So Carlito's more like that. Because JD's a tag champ, that puts Carlito in that beginner lackey, that beginner boss stage.
Right, and I mean, I could see Carlito going for an Intercontinental title, but I mean, it's not necessarily happening right now.
It won't happen because it's going to be Braun, and Braun's going to do something, and that's where it's like, all right, because as we get to Jay starting to come home, he done did his Hakuna Matata moment, but it's okay. He literally popped off like the Lion King up in his bit, but that's a whole other thing. But yeah, Carlito's in that beginner boss. He's the guy, like, if you want to get through the Judgment Day, he's the first person you go through, because Dom is going to be that second guy, and those are two easier guys before you get to JD and Finn.
But I mean, Finn isn't exactly popping off as a big bad right now. I mean, he doesn't exactly win matches. And, you know, him and JD are tag team champions. They're not, you know, world heavyweight champion, intercontinental champion. So, I mean, it does leave the door open for more prominent titles to go to Dom and Carlito. But it does seem like they're less than, because they want to put Finn in a higher capacity.
Right.
But I mean,
but the thing is Finn's the guy, but he's the guy. He's more like the guy telling them what's going down away. Kind of like that Wizard of Oz type thing. He's like the wizard over them, because everything is running off him. They're like, hey, where's Finn? Where's Finn?
Right.
So that's why I think it kind of matters in a sense. But yeah, his thing is still prominent. His role is prominent. It's just people think he should. Because, newsflash, just because they don't go for a title doesn't mean that what they're doing is not important. And I think that's where we get caught up in this shit.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, just in general, it was really weird how Carlito just became a part of the Judgment Day. Like, he was just like using them as a shield to get away from Rey Mysterio, and then when Priest and Rhea got eliminated, you know, he just automatically became a part of the Judgment Day because they were lacking members.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, either way, I like Carlito and the Judgment Day. I think it works for him. I think it works for what they're trying to do. And kicking him out would definitely, in my opinion, make Judgment Day look weaker rather than stronger.
I mean, yeah, but right now it's right where Judgment Day's right where they want to be, because it's not like they're not super high on the card, but their presence is felt throughout the WWE spectrum, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely.
Probably more so when they were at the top of the card, because right now everything to them, and this is where Finn comes in, it's no leader, so everything looks helter skelter because everybody's jumping in everybody's business, if that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Talking about jumping into other people's business, Jimmy, Jay, Roman, Bloodline, things are happening. Don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so, Kaliko.
I never said that. Okay, for the record, I said it has to be a reason for that ass to come back, and he stated his reason. It's just because his reason is, why are you doing this to the family? See how that works?
Right.
He's the guy coming back going, hey, I don't like Roman either. I got beef with him too. But think about how this looks as our family members. That's the hook. And that matters because, I mean, he's the guy who, and he basically said it. I didn't like him, so I left and became my own man. Hakuna Matata. See, it's Lion King. I told you. The Lion King story, he left and became his own man, and he's trying to tell them, why are you stuck doing this shit when you could just go and do your own shit?
Right. Oh, I mean, that being said, we got Dree out of the 4 back. When are we going to see Sammy?
No, Sammy ain't coming back.
I feel like Sammy
Jay to me ain't really there yet. So
I mean, he's kind of there. I mean, he's almost there.
He ain't nowhere near there. Him and Roman got some business to handle before any of that happened.
Oh yeah.
And he let that be known. So that lets you know that's what's keeping him from this shit. One, the family. One, he doesn't want to disappoint the family. 2, Roman. And you're not just gonna gloss over this Roman shit. Hell, he still ain't glossing over Jimmy. Because when Jimmy came and talked to him, it looked like some shit from Family Matters, where he was like, "I don't want to talk to you, man. Get away from me." And he had his right, like, mind his own damn business. In fact, to be quite honest, Jay was minding his own damn business. They threw him in it. They pulled him in it.
And it's ironic, it's funny, because Jay is coming into this rivalry as the most prominent member of the bloodline right now, the OG. You know, Roman, he's without a title, without a tribe, without a wise man. Jimmy, literally Jimmy, literally the Jannetty. Jay...
He's not Jannetty. He is not Jannetty. Don't you do him like that.
And then you have Jay, like you said, the prodigal son, went on his own, won a title, has the crowd behind him, has a title, has the merchandise, has a title, and you know, he's coming in on a higher position on the totem pole than Roman, which it's interesting, you know, how that interaction is now, because his whole dynamic with Jay was power, and that he had the power over Jay, and now Jay has the power over Roman.
I don't think it was about the power per se. It was more about power corrupting.
Right.
And that's what this whole thing is about. It's about he who has the power. It absolutely is corrupting them because of the simple fact of the Ulafala. It's kind of like a Lord of the Ring type of thing. He who has it can't seem to control themselves. And while you sitting up there telling Jimmy is Jannetty, Jimmy might be the damn hero because he basically saved Jay from being that.
I That's like a very fine line, I'd say, but okay.
That is not a fine line, but that's not a fine line. Now, here's what I will say. Jay is not the most prominent. Let's just keep that a stack. Roman is still the man. He's just the man who is now realizing that he has to cry. And let's keep this in mind, too. While y'all sitting up there telling him he's a lackey, Roman never betrayed anybody.
Wow, you're really going the route of he's misunderstood.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, show me where he's turned on any of them. He may have abused them. He may have talked shit to them. But he never, ever, ever took the first shot on them, i.e. betrayed them.
I mean, yes, but he drove them to it.
He could drive them to it, but they still got to pull the trigger for themselves, homie. Now, that's where it's going to be and the reason I bring this up, because this is where I personally think the hang-up is going to be. The hang-up is going to be on Roman going, you did it to me, not the other way around, even though Jay had... like I said, it's perspectives. Whose perspective are you seeing? Jay, who feels like he's been abused and he had no other alternative but to get out, or Roman, who at this point is going, hey, I never did anything to you in that sense. So that's where the meshing is going to come.
Right.
And they got about 4 weeks to tell that story, and even then, it's not guaranteed for him to be in Hell in a Cell. War Games. It's not guaranteed right now. If you could put money on it, I would put money he wouldn't be there right now.
I mean, he wouldn't be. You know, good and well, he would not be involved in this story if he wasn't going to be in that match.
So here's my question: when is he going to join it? Because I'm betting you he ain't gonna make a decision until the fucking go home show.
That's what I was gonna say.
It's gonna and even then it's gonna be like, shit, I guess I gotta do it.
Right.
Because the thing is he's looking at it like, why the hell would I go back to this bullshit when I'm on the other side of this just succeeding like a motherfucker?
Right.
Like he's as free as he'll ever be, and that's his personal struggle. I'm as free as I could be. I'm over. The crowd loves me. I'm no longer this tag dude. I'm the Intercontinental Champion. I got everything that I looked for. It became my own human being to validate myself. Why would I go back into I wouldn't say, why would I go back into that bullshit for no reason? Because what is going to be his end game? He has to debate what's his end game is.
Right. Well, from good shit to why is this shit on my TV? The Motor City Machine Guns has made their SmackDown debut. Yeah.
Why wouldn't they?
I kind of feel like they were NXT bound. And
I knew they were NXT bound.
And the second thing about that is, Raw is starving for tag teams right now. Why?
Yes.
Literally, they're in the desert looking for water, and you put that tag team on SmackDown?
Well, the thing is that SmackDown, remember, is getting the hour. SmackDown's getting 3. Raw's going to 2.
I mean, yeah, but again, you need tag teams on both brands.
I mean, maybe the profits just pop over on the other side. Who knows?
I wouldn't hate that. And I mean, why would you put Motor City Machine Guns on the same show as DIY? I mean, they're literally DIY Timu brand.
They are not Timu. How dare you, sir? They are not Timu. Keep in mind, these motherfuckers were the ones putting on bangers with the Bucks. As much as I can, these motherfuckers was don't sell them like that, homie. But
I mean, that was in 2009.
Sir. They earned. Let them go on SmackDown. Have a couple of matches with Pretty Deadly. Get them over. Then you can go from there. It's not like they're gonna pop in and get the world tag titles right away. Like you making it sound like they just gonna pop in and win the belts with night one. Night one, they just shook hands and
6 months. I
You
give
know what
them
I'm saying?
6 months to win those titles.
They're not gonna win it in 6 months. They're not gonna AJ it. It took AJ a damn year. No, it took AJ. No, I'm gonna lie. It took him 8 months.
Oh.
9 months. 9
I
months.
mean, that was the WWE Championship. We're talking about the Tag Team Championships.
But I'm just talking about a vet that comes in and wins it off rip. 9 months. I give them a year. Because until this bloodline shit is phased out, God knows what the fuck's gonna happen.
True. Very true. Well, I mean, either way, they're on SmackDown. Congratulations to those guys. Jelly Roll. Yeah, what was you going to say?
And then they won. They're getting closer to the title. See, they're gonna play. It's gonna be Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. DIY is gonna get the win, or the Bloodline gonna come out and whoop all their asses. You know what I'm saying? Although DIY, don't go against the Bloodline. I saw what happened in Cleveland, dog. Y'all got y'all ass killer combos, but that's all. That shit in person was just a fucking. It was like Rocky IV up in that bitch. Like, throw the towel. But anyways, you were saying, sir.
Speaking of Cleveland, Jelly Roll, he expressed interest of doing a match in WWE. Is he going to be on like the Mount Rushmore of celebrities that wrestle?
You bet.
in
Fuck
WWE?
no. Fuck no.
No.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
But it could definitely be a memorable experience.
What, him tagging with R-Truth? Like, that'll be it. And I can see R-Truth keep calling them fucking Billy Ray Cyrus or fucking what's the other guy name? Garth Brooks or Post Malone.
Yeah.
Action Bronson. Like, I can, like it's gonna be a shit show. Not no disrespect to Joe. I seen him do it in person, but hey, man. I mean, he ain't taking bumps.
I mean, we were under the impression that what is his name? Bad Bunny wasn't going to take bumps, and he actually had a really competitive match. He has two competitive matches.
Bad Bunny's 120. Bad Bunny's 120 hit a fucking Canadian destroyer.
Right.
Jelly Roll ain't hit no Canadian destroyer. No offense, but just saying. If he does, I'll eat worms. I will eat worms if he hits a Canadian destroyer.
All right, let's see if Jelly Roll hits a Canadian destroyer. If he does actually get in the ring, what do you expect? Who do you expect him to wrestle? Does he do
The Miz? The Miz.
Okay.
It would be an R-Truth. It would be The Miz or Waller in Theory, because they got a history.
That makes
But
sense.
other than that, that's about it.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. All right. And that brings us to our last bit of news. RVD and Katie Forbs have launched a new platform called OnlyWrestlers. It's an OnlyFans alternative for wrestlers to show their titties.
I don't. Well,
You,
depends.
you know that they're going to use it for that.
I'm pretty sure Sabu ain't out here trying to go show titties.
The sick part of that is, I think there are some people that would like to see Sabu's titties.
do you see what I'm saying? Like so far they got Violet J, Angelica Might. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it would work for legends.
So,
I think it could work for legends and women, depending. But
I don't know if it's gonna work at all. If I'm being honest, unless they give something that's not offered already on OnlyFans, then I don't see it attracting a lot of people.
well, the question is who is on it, and that's the biggest question. What wrestlers are on it? Because I could see certain wrestlers on it.
Right.
But it's just who's going to be the guy to break it through.
You mean Goal?
I mean, Sabu on it is like,
Yeah. I mean, if they're shrewd business people,
See, so right now, I'm going to tell you right now who's on it.
Okay.
Right now, see, look at this. So RVD,
Okay.
Katie Forbs,
So RVD,
Charlie Hot,
RVD watch them smoke pot. Katie Forbes titties.
Jordan Blue.
Jordan Blue.
See, Charlie Haas.
Okay. Watch them get a blood transfusion.
Bella Madison.
Titties.
Melissa Santos.
Titties.
Sabu.
Titties.
Brian. Sabu titties. Brian. Brian. Oh shit. Okay. So, Brian Cage, Hollywood,
Wait,
Haley J.
Hold on. I need to comment on these. Brian Cage, watch him eat protein.
Melissa
shakes.
Santos's titties.
No.
Hollywood, Haley J.
Cocaine.
Cocaine, Amazing Maria.
Supplying cocaine.
CT Matlock, Ben McCoy, John Morrison,
John Morrison.
Elijah Summer, Big Money Brady. I'll do it. It could be good for those guys and gals who need to build that following. Super Tex, Lion Warrior, Otto Von Clutch, Stefa Parisi, Lara Frazier, that's titties. Jason Knight. They got 9 pages worth of people. Rico Bushido, Tiger Smith, Alex Desire, Robbie Lewis, Sharma Iyer. They got people, and it's you know what? And I can see why they did this, because when you think of OnlyFans, you think of sex work. So it kind of releases them from that stigma.
But it doesn't.
Will that apply to a lot of people? No. Look who's on here: Lady Tapia, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Renee Michelle, Tessa Blanchard, Timothy Theory, Rico Constantino.
Hey, shout out to Rico.
See what I'm saying? Lady Tapia, Scotty Riggs, Lucky Leone, Riley Madison, Gabby Tuff, Facade, Danny Mose, Sarah the Rebel, Angelica KO, AJ Kazana, the Grappler. See, I mean, I'm telling you, it's something, because a lot of these is probably just for them, you know. Because think about it. If I'm a wrestler and I'm doing a signing somewhere, other than the promotion, how else are going to, other than the promotion in this, how else would they know?
Social media. Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah, that's my point. So this is a filtered version of that. To build your following, to build a base, to build a brand, basically. It's all brand building. Although I might join this to follow some of these cats. I'll take one for the team.
You'll be on some sharing sites afterwards.
Sir.
If you're subscribing to Sabu's OnlyFans, I don't think we can be friends after that. I don't think we can go back.
I'll subscribe to. I could tell you who I'll subscribe to. Melissa Santos, I subscribe to her.
Titties.
Hollywood Haley Jade, I would.
Okay.
Morrison, maybe.
No. You don't got titties.
I don't know who Jolene the man-stealing machine.
Ooh. I might subscribe to
her. But she's like my manager debut at the Taco Fest at the Hard Rock Casino. That's what I'm saying. They could it's kind of like a way to push their highlight tapes.
I feel like it's kind of up. It's kind of you need.
They got Violet J from Insane Clown Posse on this bitch.
I feel like you need a big name to be on there to attract people to say, okay, this is serious. You know, rather than, you know, a bunch of indie talent and, you know, obviously RVD, who's still pretty relevant in today's pro wrestling. You know, it's not a joke when I say you kind of need like a Mandy Rose who is pretty prevalent on OnlyFans.
Man, Mandy Rose don't need them. Neither does Mandy Rose don't need them.
She don't need them, but they kind of need her at this point.
Who else is on there? Little Miss Macy, she don't need them.
And if you could get like what is her name? A Sky Blue or a Tony Storm. You know, somebody that's relevant right now in pro wrestling.
Tony Storm had an OnlyFans. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but it's not really about them. It's about RVD and Katie Forbs getting these names in order to build their brand. I can't think of anybody right now that's done something like that, but I'm sure there's examples of it.
I guess, but
yeah.
I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying, but you start with the little people to get them, you know, an asset to get with fans, because other than because a lot of female wrestlers, they do the OF, but they don't do nudity. But when people think of OF, that's all they think of.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm trying to. I think that's the. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's the web they're trying to weave. Because prime example, what was that one girl name? The one that was on the wrestling show, Gabby, who was on that show with iPhone. I forget, on the Apple TV. I forgot the name of the show.
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
But there was one about some wrestlers in Philly, and Gabby was one of them. She has an OF, but she also knows she doesn't do nudity. It's more of like a journaling thing. The same with like a Chris Cyborg, who's an MMA fighter. She has an OnlyFans, but it's basically journaling the same way with like a lot of these people. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
but I mean, I asked this: how many of these people with OnlyFans that aren't doing, what people are accustomed to on OnlyFans? How successful are they really with that content?
Well, it depends on the following that they build, and that's my point.
All right. Well, we shall see. Who will last longer? OnlyWrestlers or the Motor City Machine Guns? Find out in 6 months. Now a quick word from
It's tainted, in a sense. The name is sullied.
Yes.
And that's what they need to get away from. That's what they're trying to get away from.
They should get away from it, honestly. That'll conclude.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
That'll conclude our coverage of the news. And now a quick word from our sponsors.
So, Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low-calorie, no-sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar-filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off-brands out there that are presenting low-quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high-quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
Use promo code WrestlingWithE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with AEW Wrestle Dream 2024. Took place last Saturday at the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington. Attendance was 8,045. A modest amount of people. Maybe a little bit less than they usually do for paid previews, but I believe they said that this was an 18,000 seat arena, so they definitely did not fill that. But it's still more than they're doing on Dynamite and Rampage. Well, what's the other one? It's not Rampage. It's Dynamite and
Collision.
Collision. Thank you. Alright, the show as a whole, what did you think about it?
It went just about the way that I thought it would go. I mean, that's that's the only killer part. Because I think about it, this is the ending of them having like 5 or 6 super big events in like 3 months.
Right.
Which is freaking crazy.
It's definitely it was an okay show. I did what I did last time around, and I just watched maybe like 2 to 3 matches a day. So it was more easier to take in. And I can say that I did enjoy the show a little bit more than I have AEW's other shows in the past. So, but we'll get into that in a moment. Let's talk about the pre-show results. Brian Cage defeated Alanis Morissette Jr. to capture the Ring of Honor World Television Championship.
How dare you, Atlantis Morissette Jr. Oh shit, I'm done.
Anna Jay defeated Holly Cameron. The acclaimed Anthony Bell Movement and Max Plasto Castro with Daddy Ass defeated Eminem Collection, Monsieur, and Madden with Rico Constantino. Shout out to Rico again. The Conglomerate freshly pooped Orange Cassidy and Kyle O'Reilly parts with the Outrunners, Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum. What a name. With Rocky Romero defeated the Dark Order, Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and the Premier Athlete, Aria Davivi, and
Davari.
With Tony Nese, with Smart Mark Sterling, Josh Woods, and Evil Uno. Don't know what the fuck happened now. Alright, now on to the main show, what we actually watched.
Wait a minute, you ain't finna go past the fact that I told you Brian Cage was gonna win that goddamn match. I told you.
Yes, you did.
You ain't finna go past that shit, motherfucker. I be goddamn, sir. Called it.
Let's get into the main show. You got Jay White defeating Porn Stash Page in 16 minutes and 20 seconds. I decided to watch this match because it was literally the first match on the card.
I mean, it has to be.
The crowd was kind of hot from the beginning. They had some pretty good back and forward. But then the match just kept going. Maybe this match was maybe 5 minutes too long, and I'm being generous with that.
Really?
But I kind of go back and forward with it. Should Jay White have won? Should Adam Page have won? It was just a really odd match to have in the first place.
I mean, it's one of those things where it was just like, it was a good match, and the ending was nice. The buckshot into the Blade Runner.
Yes.
You gotta give them that.
I will 100% give them that. That was a good transition.
So, I mean, great. It was a good way to start a match. Give him that credit. I thought, I mean, I guess White. I mean, honestly, it was hard to figure out because somebody's not really gaining from winning. It's not like one needed to win more than the other, if that makes sense.
I kind of feel like Page had momentum after he just beat Swerve, so there was that. So this kind of kills his momentum in a sense.
But where the hell? I mean, honestly, it wasn't. I don't. Because to me, even if that was the case, it wouldn't have meant shit unless it was for the title. So you beat a guy who was the former champ. Oh, what did he goddamn do? You didn't do it when it mattered.
I mean, true, but I mean, it wasn't necessarily about that. It was about, him going into his house and
Revenge.
yeah.
Revenge. Well, the best revenge is to beat his ass and take what he loves the most.
I mean, he burnt his house down.
I'm talking about the title, man.
But I mean, it seemed like he liked that house very much.
I'm talking about the title. I mean, God damn it, sir. Oh shit! This is That went left, but yeah.
How many stars do you give this one?
That was a good 3.5.
I'm right there with you, 3.5. Alright, AEW Women's World Championship. Mariah Carey defeated Willow Nightingale in 10 minutes and 50 seconds.
Next.
I thought it was a good match.
I didn't say it was a good match. I said that it kind of happened what we thought was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Next.
Oh, wait. We need to do what Uncle Dave thought about these matches as well, no?
God damn it. So that means we got to go back to the 0 hour.
We're not doing 0 hour.
How dare
Jay
you?
White and Adam Page.
You have to go to the 0 hour.
I cannot objectively give star rating to matches I did not see.
What? You didn't? Okay, alright. So, okay. Fair enough, sir. Jay White. I said 3.5. What did you give it,
I
sir?
gave it 3.5 as well.
Alright, what do you think Uncle Dave gave? Guess that rating!
4 1/4.
Nope.
4.5.
Lower.
4.
4.
Alright. Mariah May and Nightingale, I say 2.5.
You give it 2.5, or he gave it 2.5?
He gave it 2.5.
He did not give it 2.5.
3?
Higher.
3.5.
Higher.
4?
No. 3 3/4. That 3/4 kicking your ass.
Yeah, that always gets me. Yeah.
That 3/4 kicking that ass.
I gave it a solid 3.
I thought so too. Solid 3, even though I knew.
Yeah.
Let me say this. Willow, I love you, but they just setting you up to slaughter with that one, man. That was just and I'm only saying that because I love you, Willow.
I mean, Mariah May needs people to slaughter, so, and Willow was there, so.
Giving her sheet to swallow.
Yeah. AEW TNT Championship match. Jack Perry, the Platypus, defeated Katsuyori Shibata Bread in 9 minutes and 20 seconds. I did not like this at all. We can talk about the aftermath after we actually talk about the match, but it just seems so out of place. It was such an odd match to have.
What, Jack Perry?
Yeah.
I mean, he's the Bucks boy. He gets that spot, man.
But, I mean, like, in reality, Shibata was an MMA fighter. Legit badass. He could literally kill Jack Perry if he actually wanted to.
Well, that is true.
Yeah.
Still didn't stop the fact he lost.
Yeah. Agreed. I give this 2 stars. And I'm being generous with the 2.
Oh, man.
You?
Yeah, I'm about to agree, because I kind of figured if Shibata, okay, that's the whole thing with Japanese wrestlers. I'm not going to go there, but that, well, in AEW anyways, but it is what it is too. Well, I agree too.
I say Dave Meltzer gave this 3.5.
No.
3 3/4.
Lower.
3?
3 1/4.
After the match, Jack Perry started beating up on Shibata, which brought the triumphant return of Daniel Garcia. Woo! Oh yeah! Daniel Garcia. Everybody wanted him. He made the save. Didn't get physical with Jack, which you kind of expect at this point. And then the triumphant return of our douchebag, Max MJF, Maxwell Jacob Freeman. And he actually did beat the crap out of Daniel Garcia, completely defeating the purpose of his return. But that was, and the hilarious part about that is that Shibata, during that beatdown, nowhere to be seen. And then you have, after that, the return of Adam Cole Bay Bay. He ran down to the ring. Yeah, he ran down, and he beat up MJF, continuing their rivalry from over a year ago. That started a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And a completely different version of what they were doing when they started the rivalry a year ago. MJF is now the bad guy, and Adam Cole is the good guy.
Which makes no goddamn sense, but that's all. Okay.
Yeah. So you undermined Daniel Garcia for literally no reason, and you made MJF a bad guy again, just so Adam Cole could come back face. I mean, why?
But they didn't need to do that. They could have had it easily. Well, the problem is that they brought MJ back as a face, as a heel, which, I mean, it makes sense because he does better as a heel. He talks his better shit as a heel. That's just how it goes. But the problem is that they never gave him the revenge in the sense of Adam Cole. Scheduling be damned, but you still have to finish. If you're not going to finish that loop, then don't even, I'll put it this way. Timing was everything. If they were going to finish the loop, they rather than flipping the script, because didn't Adam Cole used to be the manager for some group, and what happened to that group? And you know what I'm saying? So do you see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it kind of defeated the purpose of that.
Yeah.
That whole thing. And it didn't help that MJF took half the year off, because that half of the year he could have just been going through that group to get to the final boss, who could have been selling it like, oh, I'm hurt. You can't be beating me up. I'm a hurt guy.
Well, I can't say bad things about Max when it came to that, because he was like legitimately injured. Like, he was pretty badly banged up.
Oh no, they burnt the shit out of his ass. That's my point.
Yeah.
they burnt his ass to the ground. Woo, they worked his ass, boy.
Literally into the ground.
Yes, literally.
Yeah,
so
6 feet under.
I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm just looking at the lack of long-term storytelling. Because, Roman lost. He probably had injuries. But when they brought him back, and he came back he came back for a certain reason. If when MJF came back just to turn heel, just to beat up on Ospreay, it didn't make sense.
Right. My thing of it is, yeah, you can always revisit it. That story's never not going to be there. It didn't necessarily need to be told right now. They could have, we'll talk about the main event later, but it might have been a bigger impact if, Adam Cole came out after the main event, challenged Moxley. But, that didn't happen. But that would have made more sense because, not only do you get that return pop, you get that I'm saving the hometown hero as well. But
nah, Adam Cole coming. Here's the problem: if Adam Cole was going to come back, it should have been at the expense of costing a face MJF, not at the expense of a heel MJF. Is the problem?
Well, I mean, it seems like they just reversed roles. Adam Cole's the face and MJF's the villain.
But why the fuck would I cheer Adam Cole coming back other than the fact it's a miracle he's back?
I mean, because he's Adam Cole and he's just a great guy.
That ain't the point. That ain't he could be the greatest guy in the world. They didn't put him in that position on his way out the door.
But the funny part about it is that he turned heel while injured, and quite arguably he does his best work as a heel as well. Had 0 matches as a heel, left for a couple of months, and now he's back as a face.
That's my point.
Yeah.
It's not consistent because that's the whole point. Like, who was it? Somebody else did that shit where they were a face, heel, face. And it's just confusing. Honestly, most loyalists ain't gonna care, but I personally take it as you're insulting my intelligence. If Vince did this shit, everyone else would be like, "What the fuck are you doing, Vince?"
Oh yeah. All right. Let's get into something else that insults our intelligence. The three-way match for the International Championship. Colt Kutska takes Shitter, defeated Will Ospreay and Ricochet to win the International Championship in 20 minutes and 45 seconds. Decent match, had its flippy shit. I'll give them this. I definitely did not see Colt Kutska winning the match. So, I'll give them their due on that. But, I mean, the way they did it kind of sucked as well. So...
I was like, is this a joke?
Yeah, I'll just think that's a decent match.
I mean, hey, it is what it is. It threw me off, but I mean, it felt like the triple threats where the guy who wasn't expected to win actually won.
Yeah, I understand that.
You want to fuck up a triple threat? Put the underdog as the winner.
No, you're not wrong about that. We didn't do what Meltzer dart for the last match.
Which one?
Actually no, we did Jack Perry and Shibata. Did we do Shibata?
Yes, we did. I think we did. Hold on, wait a minute. Just in case. Just in case. Name that rating, sir.
It was 3 1/4, right?
3 1/4. You got it.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, if you thought that was something, wait till you get this card rating, boy.
Well, my thing of this match would be, I'll go 3.25 on this match. But I give it the extra quarter because I did not see Colt Kutska winning, so I'll give them that extra quarter. What say you?
I agree with that. I mean, considering that it was just what Ospreay and Ricochet did prior, and they just added the guy in it. That's about it. But everything else, yeah. So you guess this motherfucking rating right here, boy.
So
boy.
So Will Ospreay's in it, so that's automatically a 5-star match. And then you have Ricochet, which is maybe definitely adds to that. And then you have it being a triple threat. This has to be 6.5.
Nah, lower.
6.
Lower.
5.5.
5.5.
Okay. So,
which, to me, I'm like...
So Ricochet and Konosuke only added a 0.5 star to that?
Pretty much. I'm just gonna give you... spoiler alert. This is the match of the night for Meltzer. Just throwing it out there.
I have no doubt about that.
And I'm like, okay.
I mean, it wasn't a bad match, but it definitely wasn't the best match I've ever seen in all my entire life as well.
Hey, I'm just telling you what Uncle Dave said. And not LaGreca, Meltzer. Sorry. Just making sure.
I mean, keep in mind
making sure I have that distinction.
Keep in mind, this is the same guy that didn't give 5 stars to Undertaker Shawn Michaels.
Which to most people think that's probably one of the greatest matches in history. Especially the first one. The first one was probably one of the greatest matches in history.
This is correct. Alright, best 2 out of Dream Falls match. Hologram versus the Roast Beast Mortos. This is when I enacted my fast forward rule. What say you, Kaliko?
Because Hologram won, like I thought.
I mean, either way, I didn't give a shit about the match.
Yeah, no one gives a shit. I mean, that was a restroom break match for the flippy shit.
Oh yeah, I mean a 16-minute match. Like, I mean, you could do more than a pee break with that. Like, that's a whole movement.
Nah. I mean, well, wasn't that many people in Tacoma, so yeah, you might have got your money's worth in that 15 minutes. Anyway.
I mean, it's not like a Taco Bell movement, but like, you know, just a light dinner one.
I mean, okay. All right. Enough to go get a beer or two.
Yeah, definitely.
To parch your throat after yelling for Will Ospreay.
Definitely. How many stars do you give this one?
3. Because that's how many matches it was.
I'm gonna say Dave gave this 3.5.
Higher.
4.
Higher.
4.5.
Lower.
4 2/4.
4 1/4. Oh, and the quota. I don't know what the fuck is with these quotas, but anyway.
Yeah.
I don't get quarter ratings with it anyway. Whatever.
He probably never has change.
He's got too much change if he out here giving out quotas and fucking 0.75.
We got Debbie Allen defeating Booker
Brody King. Boy,
12 minutes and 20 seconds.
I'm trying to figure out what in the fuck is it with Darby Allin beating all these big ass dudes. No shade, Darby, but you walking 100. Brody's a walking 280. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no fucking way.
Wait a minute. How much did you say Darby Allin weighs?
A wet 100.
Yeah, definitely 100. I mean, maybe an 80.
175.
Oh, 175.
That is one.
No.
That's 175.
No.
Yeah, five. You know what? That actually makes sense. 5'8", 175. I mean, 175. You're giving him 175, bro.
Oh hell no! I'd
that
say
easily
he's
could be.
Soaking wet.
I think he's like 150.
I think Mariah May weighs more than Darby Allin.
Ooh, let's see.
And I'm not talking about walked wrestler weights. I'm actually talking about wrestler weights.
I mean, her build weighs 130. She ain't that far. I'm thinking she's walking 150.
I could maybe see that. I mean, she is pretty muscular.
So I would say
Darby's
Darby, yeah, he's probably about 150. Yeah, they're about the same.
Well, very much like the last match, this match was enacted in the speeding up rule, so I did not see it. Yeah, I didn't need to be a fortune teller to know who was going to win as well, so.
Really? I mean, yeah, they gave Darby Allin that super seater shit, boy.
Right. What say you, Kaliko? What was your thoughts on the match?
I need to just start. I don't know. Darby Allin's like Mighty Mouse. He just beating the hell out of. He be getting his ass beat, and then he comes out with the win. It is what it is.
Yep. Sounds about right.
So I'm trying to figure out then is Darby Allin gonna be the one to beat Moxley?
I think that's the route they're going, but you know, with an AEW line, you never quite know. Alright, then we have the middle-aged Fox, Matthew and Jackson.
Rating.
Matt and Nicholas.
Rating for the Allen and King. You gotta guess it, even though you didn't watch it.
Yes. Okay. 4.
Higher.
4.5.
4.5. He's generous with these AEW ratings.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's just how long can he edge during these events? That's basically it. How many stars do you give this one? You, personally.
2, because it was a super Darby Allin. It was like Coked Allen. Perk Angle. Darby became Perk Angle.
Which is ironic, because isn't he like straight edge?
Yes, but I'm just, hulked up and beat Brody.
Yep.
All right, continue.
All right, like I said, the middle-aged Fox, Nicholas and Matthew, they defeated Private Party without Matt Hardy, Harley and Quinn. I actually saw this match. First time I've seen a Young Bucks match in quite some time, but I was just genuinely curious what they were going to do with Private Party. It wasn't a bad match. I just kind of feel like the crowd was kind of dead for it the whole time, and they were trying to get people on Private Party's side, and it just kind of fell to the wayside. Like, they were going for that Jeff Hardy, make yourself famous type of reaction. You know, like when he wrestled The Undertaker that one time. And it just wasn't. I appreciate what they were trying to do, but it just didn't come off that way. But what was your opinion?
Well, it's easy to have that problem when Private Party has been on a milk carton for the better part of 3 years. Kind of hard to tell somebody to root for somebody that just popped out like a fucking hedgehog, a groundhog shadow. Like, shit. Like, I can't. How many times I've been out this show asking where the fuck is Private Party?
Oh yeah. I mean,
So
that's
that's
one of our memes.
That's literally like, Jesus Christ, and that's the problem. It's like,
I mean, we've seen Jesus Plus more than we've seen Private Party.
Pretty much. Like, I mean, I've seen Colin Kaepernick play football more than I've seen Private Party. But my point is that they were trying to recall to when Private Party first bought the Bucks,
which was 5 years ago.
And they when they caught the buzz, and the problem is they haven't been relevant on any tag team scene. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not even TNA.
So, right. So my point is, if they had had a following, then yeah. But the problem is, the tag kind of got lost in the shuffle because Sting and Allen, and then you had Omega and Page, and then the Bucks, and then FTR, then the Hardys.
I think they were injured at some point in time as well.
I'll put it this way. Waves and Curls were more relevant than Private Party.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So that's my point. It's like, you can't tell somebody to be emotionally invested in somebody that just popped out. Like, literally popped out.
No,
like, in 5 years popped out. Like, even with the Matt Hardy stuff, you really wasn't paying attention to him. Because most people kind of saw him as lackeys.
Right.
And you didn't give anything for Private Party to step out in their own realm. And that's not, like the Acclaim. Like, I'm just saying, like, the Ass Boys. Like, all these people, like, didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I get you.
It just felt like they didn't get the chance to do their thing. Or even show their shtick. I mean, not a shtick, but show the best that they can do. And that, to me, is an AEW fault. Because you want us to care about somebody that you literally just found. I felt like, what's that dude's name from America's Most Wanted? That's how I felt looking for fucking Private Party.
James Storman, what was his name? Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I can't even remember his goddamn name. But that's how I felt. John Walsh. That's how I felt looking for fucking Private Party. It felt like a fucking, like, seriously. And you know, and it's a shame. It's a shame. And that's just a shame for Private Party. Now, hopefully that this isn't the last time we see them. Because I feel like this is something where they just pop out, the Bucks get them over, and then they kind of slide on back in.
Right.
But maybe this is the shit Moxley was talking about.
You know, if they would have did this like I mean, when they beat the Bucks 5 years ago, it was a completely different audience than what they have right now. You know, they were trying to tap into something that's now irrelevant to what they're doing now. And, you know, I completely get that they're trying to bring him up, but they've had 5 years to try and bring him up, and like you said, they kind of passed them by. I hope that they don't continue down that path, and this was a way to kind of get them back on track, but that has yet to be seen, for sure.
I don't see them getting back on track with a loss in their second match this year.
How many stars do you give this one?
2.5, because they tried to recreate the buzz of 5 years ago, but a lot has changed in those 5 years.
Oh yeah,
A hell of a lot.
I give it 2.5 as well. If the crowd reaction was maybe a little bit better, I would have given it 3, but 2.5 seems appropriate. For Meltzer, I say he gave this 4.
Or higher.
4.5.
4.5. These is boys, man.
Alright, that brings us to the Raw World Championship match. Mark Briscoe defeated NDA as Jericho with Big Bill and Bandit Keith in 15 minutes and 20 seconds. If there was ever a match that was appropriately put on a card, it was absolutely this match. I think that it was it was placed at the right place in the card. I think it was the right amount of time, the right amount of moments. If I'm being completely honest, this really actually worked for me. I didn't have a lot of problems with it. What say you?
That's good to know. Because I did say Jericho was going to win. Yeah. I thought it would have been an FU moment. But they didn't go that route. So, hey, no complaints.
How many stars do you give this one?
Solid 3.
I give it 3.5. It was one of the better matches on the card.
All right. Guess that rating.
I say 3 and
higher.
3 and 4.25.
4.25. See, you starting to get these quarters. Look at you.
Yeah, I'm catching on.
Catching on.
All right, then we have the AEW World Championship match. Neo-Nazi Moxicillin with Marina You Should Fear defeated Daniel Don't Call Me Bryan Danielson by technical submission in 27 minutes flat. It's no surprise that they went balls to the wall. It's no surprise that it was a Daniel Bryan match. No surprise, no surprise, no surprise. It just kind of was what it was. My favorite moment of the show was that even though Moxley was beating the crap out of Bryan, they were still playing the final countdown because they had to get their money's worth out of it. What say you?
Of course. I mean, honestly, the match was what we expected. Me personally, I thought the right person. We finally thought the right person won. But I'm more impressed about what Moxley was doing after this, which is what they taped and showed. And that, to me, got my attention more than anything. More than the match itself.
Okay.
If I'm being quite honest. Because he was spitting the truth on that shit. I was like, God damn. Like, where was this Mox in WWE? But, hey, more power to him, man. You got to give it to him. And the fact that he just made sure he took that ass out of commission. Like, DB ain't coming back no more.
And
So,
it is a breath of relief, honestly, at this point. You know, as you said, right person won. It's good to have a sigh of relief that Brian won't be wrestling. Hopefully, he'll get the medical care that he needs, and then he could play with his children, you know, without, you know, issue or problem to his health. And that's what kind of matters the most to me, honestly.
pretty much. But I also think, you know, he did it where that Mox looks now super. I mean, they're making this whole whatever they're doing with Mox and them. It's working with me personally.
It's not working with me, honestly.
Why? It's not working?
Because it's so, like, ungenuine. Like, you kind of know that he's just kind of playing a part. He's trying to be a badass. Like this is, like, uber toxic masculinity, if I'm being honest.
What? I think he's sitting up here telling these motherfuckers, I'm tired of y'all trying to earn a paycheck. Bitch, get better.
Maybe, but when you know that he got the character from Russell Crowe being a neo-Nazi in a movie, it kind of kills all of that. You know what I mean?
I mean, as long as he don't go that far.
He put plastic bags on top of people's heads.
Hey, man, do what you got to do to get the title. That's what heels do.
Okay, then.
Because no one would take. I'm gonna tell you this. Would you have taken him serious had he just beat Daniel Bryan just clean, like a regular match? And
I mean, no, you're absolutely right about that. But okay, so I'll go this route. Like when Moxley wrestled Seth after Roman left when he was sick. They turned Mox bad, and he was, you know, obviously had issues with Seth. And they made it look like he was distraught because Roman was sick, and that he cared too much, so he hurt the people that he cared about the most, which was Seth at the time. And I really feel like if they would have not have been afraid to push the envelope on that rivalry and really go forward with it, it could have been really great shit. But they kind of got scared. They could have did the same thing with Bryan, because Bryan, he could have been like, Bryan is hurting himself, and I know he's hurting himself, so now I have to hurt him in order to protect himself from himself. They could have did something like that. Or they could have gave Darby Allin the biggest win of his life by beating Daniel Bryan in his hometown, in front of his hometown crowd, and, you know, make a star. But, you know, to each their own.
To each their own. I mean, yeah, I see your point. I just, you know, I personally think this version of Moxley is a tad bit different because to me, it sounds more like a Thanos. I'm trying to get rid of this fat in this AEW space. Which he's kind of got a point. You'd be lying as if you didn't have a point.
I think the only Danos is Okanos, but that's my opinion.
I'm not saying Okanos ain't even Okanos.
Yeah. Alright, how many stars you give this one?
Daniel Bryan's last match, it was a 4. He went all out. And he went out without a pin. So, gotta give it to him. 4.
I give it 3.5.
Alright, guess that rating, sir.
4.5.
Higher.
5.
Lower.
4 and 7.
That 775 was that boy. That boy 7.5 be getting your ass, boy.
Yeah, for 4.7.5.
It's one of them goddamn things.
It's that?
4.75.
Okay, great. Alright, the show as a whole, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
Now that's a good question. I mean, it was enjoyable. To me, the Mox thing, it's got me intrigued. So thumbs in the middle, but it's getting me there with what depending on where Mox goes with it.
It wasn't the worst paid preview, but yet again, I didn't watch 2 matches on the card, so that could have definitely affected things.
I mean, yeah, you only skip like 90%, half the matches.
An hour, pretty much an hour.
Yeah, pretty much.
I give it thumbs in the middle. It wasn't their worst, but it definitely wasn't their best either.
Yeah, it was okay.
Right. That will conclude our coverage of AEW Wrestle Dream 2024. And we are wrestling with PWI's Women's Top 250 2024. Came out a couple days ago. The full complete list is now available to us. Before we start this up, I want to know what your thoughts on the list as a whole was.
When I first got a look at this list, the very AEW heavy at the top. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Number 1 earned number 1.
100%.
I will definitely say that. I cannot disagree with number 1. Number 2, I could see Rhea too, because Rhea was one. If I'm not mistaken, Rhea was one last year.
Yeah.
So the drop from 1 to 3 is a lot. Granted, I mean, because during that period, dominant champion, top of the biggest stable in the world, I would have flipped Rhea to 2, Jordan maybe 3. Bayley making the top 10 is a good look for her. Mariah May at 9, that worked. I thought Athena should be higher.
Well, we'll get into the actual numbers in a moment.
But overall, I'm not mad at it. It's a lot of women that I think that should have been higher from WWE's side, namely Roxanne Perez. I thought she would have been top 10.
Well, let's get into it. Toni Storm, number 1. Jordan Grace, 2. Rhea Ripley, number 3. Number 4, Mika. Number 5, Stephanie Vaquer. I have no idea who Mika is. Low key, I feel like Jordan Grace is got in there just because she's Jordan Grace, and people feel like they have to acknowledge her rather than how good she actually is. If I'm being honest.
Well, Mika's a Stardom champion, but
I mean that makes sense.
So that makes sense. It's Japanese, so I get that part. But my point was, yeah, Jordan had a hell of a year.
I mean,
Granted,
she was in the Royal Rumble, and she did compete on NXT, so there was that.
Against Roxanne, that's my point.
Yeah.
So,
which she did not win.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Hello.
Yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from on that aspect.
Hello.
Yeah, Grace is seeming a little high.
And that's not no shade to her. I'm just looking at what they were looking at.
Right.
I was, but oh well. Continue, sir.
And I mean, Stephanie's right.
Stephanie Vaquer being, yeah, that's about right. And she's, yeah, okay, we'll give it to her. I'll give it to her.
Number 6, Suri. Number 7,
Mm-hmm.
Bayley. On number 8, Willow Nightingale. Number 9, Mariah May. And 10, Athena. I think Mariah May is right where she needs to be.
Yes.
Tony, as great as Tony was, Mariah was right next to her for a lot of it. So, it's only fair that she was in this top 10, in my opinion.
In it with not a lot of matches, but I get the point.
Right.
Because the story.
Right.
See, that's where I'm.
And Willow, I think she won the Owen Hart Cup in the time frame of this.
Yes. She was also the TBS champion for like a couple weeks.
Good for her.
But I still, to me, Athena is getting disrespected.
Oh yeah. And I mean, if we're going to talk about Athena, we have to put Billy Starks in that conversation as well.
That's my point. So Billy Starks is not even in the top 20.
Yeah, that's kind of bullshit.
That's my point. So if Mariah gets the benefit of the doubt with Tony, how does Billy don't get the benefit of the doubt with Athena, considering that she was the first women's Ring of Honor television champion?
Something like that.
And she just recently lost at the Red Velvet?
Seriously? Red Velvet? That's who she lost it to?
Red Velvet. But that's my point. So, okay. Keep going.
Roxanne Perez.
She should be higher.
Number 12, Liv Morgan. 13, Io Sky, or Io Sarai, whatever you want to call her. 14, Mayu Iwatani. Number 15, Masha Slamovich. Congratulations, Masa, number 15, friend of the show. Check out our interview with her in the archives. I know people are on the Roxanne Perez bandwagon. I've never necessarily seen it myself. But yeah, she's high on this list.
She should be higher.
I get why Liv Morgan isn't 12. I mean, she's only started popping off for the last maybe 6 months. And she hasn't had a lot of matches.
While that is true, and I look at that, but I also look at it this way: the who's list of Roxanne's versus. I could make the argument her reign list of who's who. She's got bodies, and if it matters, it's top 5 because it easily. If you look at who she beat, who she has beat, she's beaten the number 2 woman on this list.
No, you're absolutely right.
She's beaten Julia.
I think that was outside of the time period of this.
Oh, no. I mean, it is, but no, Jordan and Grace was in there.
Yeah,
but
no,
she's
Jordan
beat
Grace was
Buck.
definitely in there. But Julia.
And Julia, I mean, yeah, it's out the top. But my point is that Jordan and Grace, she ran through that whole women's line. They're literally finding people to come off to the roster just to fight her.
Right.
So that tells me, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That has to mean for something. She is like, right at this point, she's head and shoulders above everybody in that women's roster at NXT. And if Adam Cole was number 1 with the NXT title, if it wasn't for Toni Storm having a breakout year, I could make the argument she should be number 1. But that's another argument.
Number 16, Mina Sakazawa. Sarikawa, 17, Becky Lynch, 18, Mayu Watanabe, 19, Mayu Yasamasta, 20, Lyra Valkyria. I feel like this is a pretty solid 16 through 20. I mean, Lyra had the win over Becky Lynch earlier in the year. The Mayus are kind of bunched in because, you know, name relation. And Becky had a pretty solid year. You know, she's been out.
She was the champ.
Yeah. So, can't be mad about that. Thoughts?
No, I can't be mad. I'm not mad about those. I'm not mad about the group in there. I think it's solid. Once we get to, if you got, I'm assuming you're going down all 250.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Damn it! I need a scooter. Need a scooter when you need it. But anyways, so yeah, we'll get to the people that should be higher. But yeah, that one seems pretty solid.
21, Gulia. 22, Nia Jax. 23.
Good improvement. That's improvement.
Was she even on the list last year?
I don't think so.
23, Dani Luna. 24, Kenzie Page. Good on her. NWA Women's Champion. She got a lot higher than EC3 did. And number 25, Riho. 26, Julia Hart. Sounds about right. 27,
About right. Before the injury.
27, Saori Anu. I'm assuming that's what it is. 28, Tom Nakano. 29, Kalani Jordan. She must be a Stardom goal.
No, Kalani Jordan is the NXT North American Women's Champion.
Well, good on her. 30, Naomi.
She's the inaugural NXT Women's North American. Jesus Christ. Tell me I pay attention to them hoes. I mean, nay hoes, but you can tell I pay attention. Anyway,
You can find them
continue.
You can find them all on OnlyWrestlers.
Oh my God, jeez.
Number 30, Naomi. 31, who are you, Sheeta? 32, Tiffany Stratton. 33, Billy Starks, Space Jesus. Shout out to Billy. Congratulations. Check out both of our entries with Billy on in the archives of the website of YouTube on our channel.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely agree with you. Billy should have been in the 20s, at least in the 20s.
At least top 20.
Right. Yeah. This is another name that maybe should have been higher. Bianca Belair at 34.
Interesting, because people were saying that with Bianca. But Bianca, I'm trying to think. In that year, I mean, last year was Rhea's year.
I mean,
and
yeah.
Bianca was kind of floating with the tags. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it ain't like, I'll put it like this, Bianca, it ain't like Bianca got booked bad. It's just that the champions at the time, it was their time.
Right.
And you can't get no crazier than that. I mean, the only thing, keep in mind, during that year, she was the champion. If this was based on last year into this year, champion, lost it in June, July?
She lost it at SummerSlam. And I believe
Did she?
SummerSlam
Oh, yeah,
was
she did lose it at SummerSlam.
I believe
And she lost it due to the cash-in from
I think
EO.
it was August 31st that year. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she could have not been champion during this time frame. So let's say like it's from September to September.
Man, I'm about to look this up because I'm trying to figure out what was their time frame.
Yeah.
And that's, that kind of tells you. But even then, she was October to September? October 23rd to September 30th. They got some weird ass goddamn timelines for these shits. Anyways,
yeah, she had no titles at that time.
So she had no title at the time. So
Okay.
she was just caught in the sauce of the story, which makes sense.
Okay. All right, 35, High-End. 36, Chris Statlander. 37, Janai Kai. Congratulations, Janai, friend of the show. Check out our interview with her in the archives. 38, Mika Iwana. 39, Deanna Purrazzo. 40, Not Soupy. 41, Megan Bain. 42, Alex Windsor. You know she's only as high as she is because who she's dating or who she married. 43, Natsuko Tora. 44, Jade Gargle. 45, Aspy Elegance. 46, Shayna Baszler. 47, Chihiro Hamayamayato. That's not it. 48, Zexis. Zeus? Yeah.
Zeus?
Zeusis. Zessex. Change your fucking name. 49, Shaza McKenzie.
God.
50, Hannah. 51,
Hanan.
Red Velvet.
Red Velvet.
52, Nina Samuels. 53, Viva Van. 50.
Viva Van, shout out. West Coast chick.
We have not interviewed Viva Van.
I know, but hey, she's a West Coast girl. West Coast wrestler.
54, Sky Blue. 55,
Blue.
Queen Amidala. 56, Miku Anoko. 50,
Oh no.
57, Natsumi Suzuki. 58, Rina. 59, Max the Impaler. 60, Mai Sierra. 61, Vert Vixen. 62, Myrai. Let's go with Myrai. 63,
Myrai.
63, Ezum. 64, Atami Haisamashita. 65, Thunder Rosa. I feel like that's a little low. That's a little high.
For who?
Thunder Rosa.
I mean, she came back and had a title shot.
66, Delmi XO. 67, Momo Watanabe. 68, Kristara. Congratulations, Kristara, friend of the show. Check out the interview in the archives. The coveted 69 position, Maki Atoy. I feel like that was intentional, no?
Yeah, Maki Ito. Maki Ito.
70, Delta. 71, Unagi Sayaka. 72, Shuri. 73, Ariana Grande. 74, Asuka. 75, Bozilla. 76, Jody Trett. 77, Tekla. 78, Ava Everett. 79, Zoe Starks. 80, Takumi Iroha. 81, Marina Shafir. She's lucky she's on this list at all, if I'm being honest. 82,
Really?
Ali Catch. 83, Suzu Suzuki. 84, Lou Ferrari. 85, Vaney. 86, Sandra Moon. 87, Sessions Martina. 88, Alice Inc. 89, Saya Comedy. Let's go with comedy. 90, Jada Parker. 91, Alex.
Hey, Miss Park. Hey, Miss Park.
Alexis Lee. Shout out to Alexis, friend of the show. Check out our interview with her in the description of the video below. Not in the video below, but check it out in our archives. 92, Giselle Shara. 93, Anna J. 94, La Catalina. 95, Lola Vice.
Look at her. Come up.
Yeah, those fists don't lie. There's a lot of her that don't lie. Only on OnlyWrestlers. 96, Lana Austin. 97, Mizuki. That's the Miz and drag. 98, Lizzie Evo. 99, Lana Cross.
Wait a minute, I thought Mizuki was Minoru Suzuki in drag.
No, but it's not an S, it's an Z, so it's Mizuki. So it's the Miz.
Hey.
Yeah. 100, Natalia. I'm good on her. Keep breaking 100. 101, Steph
Delander.
Yeah. What did I name? What did I used to call her?
She used to be
Parrot. Portia Parrot. That was her name. Portia Parrot.
Yes.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, she's since passed away. 102, Yori. 103, Sierra. 104, Konami. She's a cheat code. 105, Nyla Rose. Even men are represented in this list. I joke. Don't sue me. 106, Starlight Kid. 107, Sol Ruka.
She came back.
108, Yuki Irai. 109, Danny Mumu.
Danny Mo.
No, Danny Mumu. Don't give her the spotlight. Debbie Kettle. 111, You. 112, Chelsea Green. 113, Serena Deeb. 114,
Woman of 1,000 holds.
Armbar.
Armbar. Armbar. Arm drag.
114, Nightshade. 115, Gabby Feroza. 116, Haruka Amasaki.
Haruka Umasaki.
117, Flavia. 118,
Yuvia.
Kylie Page. 119, Flammer. 120, Missa. 121, Jessie J. 122, Casey Diamond. 123, Zeta Steel. 124, Ryu Mizuzami Nami. 125, Rita Wilson. 126,
Rito.
Mio Momo Mono no no Momomo. 123, I Dream of Ellie, Dream Girl Ellie. 128, Sexy Star 2.
Now, this is another question. What happened to Sexy Star 1, or is that just a reincarnation of Sexy Star 1 being Sexy Star 2?
She got canceled because she broke a girl's arm in a match unintentionally, and then obviously she rebranded herself as Sexy Star 2.
Okay.
Clearly. 129.
Clearly.
129, Soko Nakajima. 130, Mila Smith. 131, Kira Chimera. 132, Erica Lee. 133, Kanji. 134, Starfire Reed. 135, Asha. 135, Maserati. 137, Tile Valkyrie. 138, Hedo Reckless. 139, Blair Davenport. 140, Triss Adora. 141, Tatum Paxley. 142, Kylie Ray. Yeah, that's yeah, I know what Kylie Ray does. 143, Layla Hirsch. 140. I didn't even know Layla Hirsch still wrestled.
Still got it, man.
144, Reina Isis. 145, Mizuki Takis. 146, Tiffany Neves. 147, Mayu Amasaki. I feel like some of these are repeated and they're just, filling the list.
Stardom and
Yeah. 148, Layla Gray. 149, Izzy Dame. 150, L.A. Knight Taylor. Yeah. 151, Kyra. 152, Fallon Kennedy. 153, Abandon. 154, DeMonte. 155, Tessa Blanchard. 156, Millie McKenzie. 157, Rika Tatsumi. 158, Zoe Sager. Congratulations to Zoe, friend of the show. Check out our interview with her in the archives. 159, Zara Zacher. 160, Sue Young. 161, Chantel Jordan. 162, Marty Bell. 163, Freya the Slayer. 164, Natalia Markova. 165, Nane Tanahashi. 166, Jessica Troy. 167, Bobby Lashley Legend. 168.
Bobby Lashley Legend.
She's lucky she's even on this list, if I'm being honest. 168.
Why?
She ain't okay. 168, Ella Envy. 169, Taryn from Accounting. 170, Risa.
Taryn from Accounting.
170, Risa Sierra. 171, Holly Hudson. 172, Nicole Matthews. 173, Michigan. 174, Allison Kay. That's your goal.
I mean, they got her low. Her and Mention are literally neck and neck. Although her tag partner, Mandy Bell, is higher. Tessa Blanchard is high. I think she should be. She went from being up there to now. I mean, but she's working her way up, so she'll get there. But yeah, Allison Kay should be higher. Yes, continue.
175, Mika Ozaki. 176, Kogama. 177, Aaliyah James. 178, Tegan Knox. Talk about somebody.
Now that's lucky to be. That's lucky to be on the list.
Talk about somebody that's on a milk carton at this point, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
But hers is just her body betrayed her. That's all. And I can't,
Yeah. 179, Kira Hogan. 180, Saki Kashima. 181, Tasha Steeles. 182, J-Rod.
Now that's that's interesting. J-Rod.
183, Mai Segura. 184, Maya Wald. Oh, that's clever. 185, Doc Saluta. Salute. 186, Yuki Kama Fuck You. 187, Brittany Brooks. Congratulations.
I think that's Kami Fuku, but
it's Fuck You.
Fuck You, Fuku.
Brittany Brooks.
Fubu.
Congratulations to Brittany, friend of the show. Check out her interview in the archives below. 188, Maya Yukihi. 189, Evelise. 190, Cheek Tormenta. Okay. 191, Lady Frost. 192, Hazuki. 193, Gia Scott. 194, Dia Hale. Shout out to Dia. Just a legend in her own right.
It should be higher. In the 150s, along with J-Rod, in the 150s.
Sure, why not? 195, Evie Della Rosa. 196, Angela Risk. 197, Mila Grace. 198, Yuki Anoi. 199, Rachel Elderine. 200, Milo. 201, Haley J. 202, Christina Marie. 203, Cherry Steffens. 204, Kyori Yonyamaya. 205, 205, Kiana James. 206, Saki. 207, Vita Von Starr. 208, Victoria Yuzuki. 209, Charlie Evans. 210, Yuki Masahiro. 211, Seiya Lida. 212, Itsuki Aoki. 213, Xena, the Warrior Princess. 214, Aja Kong. I didn't even know she still wrestled. 215, Yana Masananis. 216, Mai Sakori. 217, Savannah Evans. 218, Little Mean Kathleen. MLK all fucking day. Congratulations, Little Mean. You can catch our interviews with her in the archives.
Both of them.
Yeah. 219, Saliza Sparks. Yeah, let's go with that. 220, Zaya Brookside. 221, Wendy Chuhu. 222, Ami Seguri. 223, Emotion Jane. 224, Ram Kai Cho. 226, Zamayaya. 227, Jordan Blade. 228, Jasmine Allure. 229, Maggie Lee. 230, Rudy J. 231 Nanami, 232 Katie Arquette, 233 Kaya McKenna, 234 Lainey Luck, 235 Azabel, let's go with that.
Jasmine, oh yeah, 228. Jasmine Allure, I totally forgot. Shout out, she's good. On her way.
236 Alex Crowley, 237 Vicus. that's a
Vicious Vicky. She's on her way too. She's getting there.
Vicky now. Vicus Vicky. 238 Delilah Doom. 239 Rico Kawahada. 240 Alex Garcia. 241 Blair Onyx. 242 Zones. 243 Kelsey Regan. 244 Devin Lynn. 245 Natalia Perez. 246 Tyara James. 247 Brooke Havoc. 248 Alexis Littlefoot. 249 Jazzy Yang, and 250 Naira Robles. Congratulations, Naira, friend of the show. Check out our interview with her in the archives. But yeah, Alexis Littlefoot, with Perry Longneck. I was doing a Land Before Time reference and I blew that.
Oh, God help us all.
Yeah, I fucked that up. Alright, any names stuck out to you?
Ones that I'm looking at that might go up next year. Jasmine Allure, I expect her to go higher. J-Rod, I expect her to go higher. She's been getting a lot of buzz. If y'all haven't checked her, and I mean, as far as athletic, yeah, she's it. I expect her to be a little higher. LMK should be a little higher. Billy Stark should definitely be higher.
Oh, 100%.
So yeah, and then we got some people who are injured on that didn't even make this list. So Becca?
Yeah. And you question what would Gigi have done if she was on this list?
Gigi, JC Jane,
I thought Gigi wrestled. She's been wrestling, if I'm not mistaken.
She's kind of been in that Chase U part, and
Okay.
But nothing crazy. She's starting to get back in this year, but
yeah. And obviously everybody's favorite Nikita's Lions.
Nikita Lyons, Thick. I think they call her Thicky the Dragon Steamboat. So, yeah, it's a lot of people. I mean, I see some changes on this list as people come back. Like I said, Becca was on a tear before she got hurt. Billy should be higher. Roxanne, I expect her to be higher. Becky's gone. Becky Lynch is gone. So Bianca might get a bounce back along with Jade with the tag title run.
And depending on what else she does.
Trying to think. Yeah. And Athena should be higher. We'll see if Mariah gets high. Tony's been out since she lost.
Right.
So whenever she comes back. Bailey's been in and out. Tiffy and Jax will move up. Liv will move up. Rhea might go down. So yeah, it's going to be interesting next year.
Definitely. Alright. I think that will conclude our coverage of this show as a whole, as it's been quite a long one. To my own my own doing.
Yes.
But
you're the problem. It's you.
Yes, 100%. Thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, but on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview Jake Lupa, this Wednesday as we interview Raimi, and join us every Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews, and follow the show at Wrestling with Ebon on X, Thread, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Carlito?
And I am Kaliko. How do you say all that nice, like, lose your breath over there rapping like Twister? But anyways, that's a whole...
It's a gift.
Like, I feel like I'm going to get an asthma attack listening to you.
Yeah. Just a lot of breath. And, I guess just a lot of wind, if I'm being honest.
Spitting fire like Eminem over there in Rap God.
Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's
Back again. Tell a friend.
For Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Becca, you gonna be back next year, baby. I'll tell. I promise.
Hey, folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show. Support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.